You're not playing football, you're playing chaos. This week, we break down the gridiron gospel, how positions, practice, and passion work together to build something bigger than the playbook. Oh, and we've got a Jerry Rice story that'll make you want to tie your cleats tighter. Let's be honest, some of us want to be the quarterback. We're clearly built for a tackle. They have confidence. Yeah, I think version two. What do you think?
Yes, I concur, especially about the cleats.
Make you want to tie your. I don't even have cleats. I used to have cleats. I don't have cleats anymore.
I used to have cleats. Yeah.
All right. Let me read through this one time just real quick and then we'll go. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're running your own play, you're not playing football. You're playing chaos. This week, we're going to break down the gridiron gospel of how positions, practice, and passion work together to build something bigger than just a playbook. Oh, and we've got a Jerry Rice story that's going to make you want to tie your cleats just a little bit tighter. Okay. Oop, wait, what just happened?
I don't know what happened.
Well, I had that pulled up and then it went away. There it is. Somehow it got behind. Okay.
You get behind
I'm good
stuff.
when you're good.
You get behind stuff.
It got behind stuff.
We're already rolling.
Oh, are we? Okay. All right. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're running your own plays, you're not playing football. You're playing chaos. Hey, this week we're going to break down the gridiron gospel of how positions, practice, and passion work together to build something way bigger than just a playbook. Oh, hey, and we got a Jerry Rice story that's going to make you want to tie those cleats just a little bit tighter. Got it.
I could do
Bill,
I could do a whole thing on like week after week talking about football.
I
Uh,
know, right?
yeah. So Jamie had Ohio State last weekend win 70-0. Wasn't really a football game, and I had my beloved Broncos uh, win their first game of the season in probably the ugliest, most terrible football game they've played in quite a while. It was just ugly.
But they got a W.
But they got a W. But we're thinking about today about the idea that, like, a problem in life and in faith, it's easy to envy the quarterback and resent the bench. We confuse visibility with value. But what if the position God put you in is the most powerful place you could be? And that's what we need to be thinking about. I mean,
Yeah, and not only that, but simply like how do you embrace that position, but then play that position to the absolute best that you can play it?
imagine being like in football, imagine being an offensive guard.
Not
I
a
mean,
glamorous position.
yeah, somebody's running at you every play, and it's your job to stop them. That's it. You don't get
Yep.
to touch the football. You
Nope.
don't. You don't. Not unless somebody screws up. And the ball drops at your feet and you fall on it. But uh, they said somebody said a guard is doing his job. I actually said about the offensive line. The offensive line is doing your job if through the entire game the announcer never mentioned your name.
Hmm. Yep. I've heard that before too. And it's true, right? I mean, we're all called to to a position, whether it's in our career, in our family, in our community, within our faith, within the church, whatever it is, we're all called to a specific position. Um, but yet sometimes we let the glamour of the quarterback or whatever it might be to kind of get us to get in the way. And what we end up doing is we might play our position. We're envious of the other positions, but we play our position because that's where we are. But we never fully embrace it and and be so good at it that we make a name for ourselves in that particular position. Now, here's a name that I'm sure you know, and anybody that has followed football for any small period of time is going to know. Jerry Rice.
He's been retired for like, I don't know, forever.
He has been retired probably for longer than he played.
Ooh, yeah. And yet we're still talking about him because he's that kind of player.
He was. And here's the thing about Jerry. He wasn't the fastest. I mean, like his 40 was like a 4.5. So, I mean, that's good speed, but that's not breakout speed,
Okay,
right?
fair.
And he wasn't like this real flashy guy, and he was a receiver, so he was a receiver. So he was a position that gets noticed, right? But here's the thing about Jerry Rice. He is a legend because he had these just infallible hands. Like they always talked about his hands. Like Jerry never drops the ball. But you also have to consider the reason that he never dropped the ball was because he always made himself open for his two quarterbacks that he played for. Hmm. You know who he played for?
Joe Montana and
Steve Young.
who?
Steve Young.
Oh, yeah, Steve Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 49ers, not my favorite team, but there was no denying that when Montana and Young were at the helm, like the San Francisco 49ers, they were the team,
Right. Right.
right? But here's this story. So Bo Eason, probably someone that most people have not heard of, did play in the NFL. He was a receiver, and he did play alongside Jerry Rice. Bo Eason now has turned his career into kind of a motivational speaker and things. And I heard Bo tell a story about Jerry Rice that made all of this click for me.
Okay.
He's talking about preseason practice.
Preseason.
Preseason practice.
Practice.
So,
Practice.
you know,
Not the game. Not the game.
game.
Not the
And it's
game.
even and it's preseason, right?
Preseason practice. Right.
So it's when, hey, we're just kind of getting limbered up and loosened up, and we're not taking things just overly serious yet. So the scenario is this: is that you've got somebody who is throwing passes to the receivers. So they have the ball in their hand. The receivers are just off to the side, all lined up behind one another, and just one by one, they were just running out and doing a route. And then the quarterback was just throwing on the ball. So the first receiver gets up, runs out there, 3/4 speed, makes their little cut and turns, catches the ball, and then just kind of jogs back, at just slow speed, and just kind of tosses the ball back to the quarterback or the person playing the quarterback. And then the next quarterback or the next receiver does the same thing. Jogs out there, 3/4 speed, makes their little move, catches the ball, jogs back. Jerry Rice gets up. And he goes 100% full speed down, hits the mark perfectly, makes his cut, turns, catches the ball, and then turns and at 100% speed, runs until he crosses the end zone.
In practice.
In practice.
Preseason.
And then turns back and then runs, kind of jogging, but at fair speed, tosses the ball back. Goes on, next receiver goes out, does the same thing, 3/4 speed, catches the ball, jogs back to Jerry, gets up again, and again, 100%, makes the cut, catches the ball, turns, and runs towards the end zone. Full speed. Bo's watching this, says to Jerry, goes, dude, what's up? It's practice. And Jerry says, I have to implant in my head that every time my hands touch the ball, it's going to the end zone.
Nice.
And then when you think about the statistics, probably one of the all-time best receivers holds I don't know how many records in yards received after or yards gained after reception, number of receptions, number of touchdowns. He leads them all. And
Mm.
you got to think, here's a guy who isn't the fastest, isn't the flashiest, but holds all the records. And it has to come down to the way he practiced. He knew his position, he played it better than anybody else simply because that's the way he practiced.
Okay.
How does that apply to our lives, Bill? There's so
Uh,
many lessons there,
so
I
so
think.
so I'm thinking, fine. So he practiced hard. So what? So what? I mean, he today, who cares? Except for the fact that he actually helped the quarterback. It's a little sideline here,
Mhm.
but he actually helped the quarterback because when he ran at full speed, he helped the quarterback get his timing down
Yep,
and know what to
absolutely.
expect during a game instead of just practicing the route. He was playing the route even though nobody was going to tackle him, and his mindset was amazing.
Mhm.
You know, in I'm taking this to the end zone every time. He just got it into his mind, and like you're saying, so what does that have to do with us today? I want to go straight to this scripture, 1 Corinthians 12:12. Just as a body, though one, has many parts, and all its many parts form one body, so it is
Yeah,
with Christ. And we're all part of the same body, but not all of us are quarterbacks. Not all of us are eyes. Not all of us are noses. Not all of us are hands, but we're all part of that one body. So think
and we
about it,
all have a purpose.
and we all have a purpose. So think about this: position is not a preference; it's purpose. It's
Ooh,
just,
I like that.
it's
That
just,
big
it's
in.
yeah, it's just like the guard in football who may never touch the ball, but if he doesn't do his job, his quarterback's eating turf.
Yeah,
So whatever our position is, whatever place God has put us in this season of life, guess what? It's your job to embrace that season of life and run with it, so to speak, or block with
yeah.
it, depending upon where you are. But you
I
know,
like that.
position is not a preference; it's a purpose, and practice reveals passion.
Ooh, I like that.
He wasn't, with Jerry Rice, he wasn't just going through the motions in practice. I mean, he was all out in practice.
In practice.
And what we do in private should reveal itself in public. You
Very
know,
good.
we fall to the level of our systems, and our systems are what we do in private. I think of the book of Daniel. Okay, what did Daniel do in private? He made sure to pray every day.
Every day. Yep.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the same book, 2 chapters later. What are they doing? In private, they're praying.
Right.
Now, because of their private prayer, they all got in trouble publicly. But it didn't matter.
But what did God reveal through them?
Exactly. Because privately, their passion privately showed up when it needed to in public.
Yeah. And I think there's another point here too, and that is like, and you just mentioned it. By Jerry running full speed in practice, it actually helped the quarterbacks.
Right.
So progress, like us coming together as a team, or coming together as a family, or coming together as a body of Christ, like our progress comes from constantly practicing and playing together.
Right.
But playing and practicing the same way that we would when the game matters.
Right. Do you remember the movie Rudy?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
great.
So Rudy's a no talent that forced himself by sheer will to get on the practice squad of Notre Dame. And there's one scene when they're practicing, because Rudy's 5 foot nothing, weighs 100 and nothing. A line from the movie that somebody said. I mean, he's absolutely nothing, but he just wouldn't quit. He just wouldn't quit. But there's one scene where they're practicing, and he plays a defensive end. It's theoretically supposed to be rushing the quarterback. He has zero talent. But I know it's a movie, and it's probably all made up, but it's a really good example. He does this one play, and the offensive guy who's supposed to block him, didn't, because it was Rudy. It didn't matter. He's not going to get to the quarterback. So the guy just didn't do his job. And Rudy just rips into him in front of the entire team and just yells at him and saying, if you don't do your job here, you're not helping this team prepare for Purdue, which I guess was their rivals because they're both in Indiana. Am I right? So, and I think about that. He was never going to play. He really wasn't. But his actions in practice made the difference.
Yep.
Because on the very next play, the guy did his job and flattened him. I mean, rightly so. But he told his teammate, do your job.
Yep.
And
isn't that what this whole thing's about, right? Is like, do your job.
Right.
Whatever that job is, just do it.
Just do it.
Jerry Rice did his job. And when we do our job well, it allows everybody else around us to do their job well. They don't have to be worrying about us or picking up the slack or whatever that is. So what's our call to action? Like, what's the payoff here?
All right.
Like, what's the takeaway for everyone?
So just some thoughts of reflection here. So what position, air quotes, what position are you currently playing in life? You may feel like you're sitting on the bench. You may feel like you're the quarterback. Doesn't matter. Now, what position are you currently playing in life? And how are you embracing it when nobody else is watching?
That's good.
So where have you been tempted to compare your calling to someone else's?
Oh.
Are you sitting back saying, oh, I wish I was the quarterback? No, you don't. There's 11 people on the other side that want to flatten the quarterback. Is that the job you really want? Well, if it's what God has given you to do, yeah, sure. But you have to ask yourself the question, where have you been tempted to compare your calling to someone else's? And to be honest, it's just not fair. And
I think one last thing is once we recognize the position we're called to and not be envious of the other positions, then how can you show up with all the passion and all that purpose every single day, like you said, even in private? So even as you're practicing, can you bring the same level of passion as you can when it's game day?
I like it. So there's some things you can do. In closing, let's just say this. Be Jerry Rice in practice so that you can beat Jerry Rice when it really matters.
Like it.
I hope that came through.
It did.
It did. Good. That's Jamie.
And that right there, that's Bill.
Wrong way again. Wrong way.
Well, you changed on me.
No. That's Jamie.
Hey, that right there, that's Bill.